Hi folks, good morning. Whether fermions can annihilate bosons, whether bosons can annihilate fermions. I am cautiously asking this fundamental question for few reasons. The first reason is that the annihilation diagram is a single line diagram, so this process doesn't care about statistics or relative statistics of annihilating particles. Looking on this diagram, I can say that fermions can annihilate bosons and bosons can annihilate fermions. The second reason is that this process is not forbidden by the Pauli theorem, because Pauli theorem assumes that fermions can only annihilate fermions and bosons can only annihilate bosons, and charge conjugation can be done at the same time as exchange. So there is no limitation coming from the Pauli theorem. The third reason why I'm asking if fermions can annihilate bosons and bosons can annihilate fermions is because it can explain the matter-antimatter asymmetry. Bosonic antimatter will collapse because of lack of the degeneracy pressure, and it will not be observable. It will be no antimatter periodic table. Anti-atoms cannot exist except for anti-hydrogen. And this is, by the way, what we see experimentally today. So it takes me to the fourth reason why I'm asking if fermions can annihilate bosons and bosons can annihilate fermions. Because we never seen any of many positron elements. We don't have any experimental data on the high density positrons, on the charge and spin density waves in positron plasma. We don't have data on anti-hydrogen molecule. The only multi-positron object which we have seen is a bipositronium molecule made from 2 electrons and 2 positrons. But the ground state of this molecule is not accessible because it is very short-living in the magnetic field. It's very hard to measure the spin configuration in the ground state. And now I'm coming to the fifth reason why I'm asking if, very cautiously, why if fermions can annihilate bosons and bosons can annihilate fermions. It is my own calculation of exchange of the commutation rules between the charge conjugation and exchange. I did this calculation by making use of foreign spatial dimension. The reason is it's very easy to embed SO4 group into the SO4N group. And also the branching rules for spinors is very simple. Basically, the spinor in foreign spatial dimension just branches to the direct product of spinors in four dimensions. So it's very easy to calculate the commutation rules between the charge conjugation and exchange in foreign dimensions. It turns out that they do not commute. Basically, they anti-commute. So if I'm lowering symmetry back to 4, I would like to have to preserve this anti-commutation rules. In fact, I also need to define the charge conjugation for many body waves in the 4 dimensions. But whatever is the definition, the charge conjugation and exchange definitely do not commute. So in my opinion, it is a very strong reason why fermions and bosons should annihilate each other. So antimatter should be bosonic. And let me finish this very short recording. Just try to encourage you to measure the high density antimatter. I talked to many experimentalists and no one really wants to put efforts to measure many body antimatter. It is very expensive, very complicated stuff. I think that is the most most interesting problem today, to access experimentally the many body antimatter. Try to make multi-positron systems with multi-positron atomic systems. Try to get high density positron, confined high density positron plasma and to measure its properties. Yeah. So thank you folks for your attention.